Right then. Hello, one and all. Welcome to a very special Week in Geek with myself, Iron Caster, and of course the. I will come up with a better term for it, but one of the big green beast of old England.
Yes. Bum hug. I mean, something. Yeah. So, T-shirt is packaging groceries, apparently. So, we have to rant. Did you have anything to rant about?
Honestly, I've had my head so buried in miniatures and paint that, like, I'm pretty sure my blood is at least like 0.05 titanium at this point.
Mine is about 5% Christmas cake at this point. So. Could rant about how Americans hate fruitcake for some reason. Apparently, you all have some terrible fruitcake.
I have no idea what all happened with that. It's just the eternal meme is it is the best doorstop that you make one time and gets passed down for generations.
There must be something different about it.
Well, it's kind of like what I like to say. Like, it's chock full of preservatives because I intend to live forever.
Well, it's chock full of booze. Maybe prohibition ruined fruitcake in the States or something.
I gotta look into that now because the whole trope was always like Americans would do anything and everything as an excuse to drink.
Yeah.
They drink to celebrate, they drink to mourn, they drink when it's hot, they drink when it's cold. When they all come together, they drink. When they part, they drink.
Maybe. I will get to the bottom of this. I don't understand the hatred.
And hello, everybody out there in YouTube land. All right. Delivery is secure. It was a lot smaller than I thought it would be.
That's what she said.
Yeah. Indeed. And hey, it's Mercurius out there. It's good to see you, buddy. All right. Well, what did you guys end up ranting about?
We tried to think of something to rant about and kind of segued into
fruitcake.
Why fruitcake is so universally reviled in the States.
Because it tastes nasty.
There must be something different.
Well, I mean, the fruit that's in it, for one thing, is that glazed or whatever?
Glacé cherries.
Yeah. It's not really fruit. It's just, it's like fruit with all the flavor taken out of it. So it all kind of tastes reminiscent of earwax and a mild fruit flavor.
You must be putting in like a spoonful of earwax in your recipes and just doing it wrong. I don't know.
I guess.
Well, it's kind of like with chocolate. I mean, for example, Hershey's chocolate it tends to have a very the waters were a bit more acidic, so it has the stronger bitter taste to it, which it tastes like
and that vomit taste.
Actually, okay, I'm gonna show you my historian knowledge here. I know why Hershey's chocolate has sour notes, because originally Milton Hershey didn't actually know the entire process for making chocolate. He knew the European method, which was invented by a guy named Nestle, but the Europeans, in order to make milk chocolate, used powdered sugar, and they would strain the solids out of the condensed milk, and that's what they would use to make the milk chocolate. Well, Milton Hershey was up in Pennsylvania, I think. So
yes,
his deal is he literally he put his factory and city, Hershey, Pennsylvania, really close to the dairy lands up there, because his intention was to source fresh milk from the cows in order to make his Hershey's chocolate. But the difference is since he was using real milk instead of powdered, he couldn't eliminate the sour notes from the chocolate. But at some point he just decided, let's go ahead and roll with this anyway. And America just kind of grew up on the flavor of the sour notes in Hershey's. But to this day, if you eat a Hershey's bar and you eat a Nestle's bar, you will taste the difference.
Apparently it's butyric acid, which is also present in spoiled milk and vomit. And
that explains the taste.
In the current process, it enters the milk because Americans use UHT milk. And so the process used to process the milk makes it taste off, which is probably why nobody likes UHT milk in their coffee. So,
I mean, I prefer creamer myself, but
makes sense.
Mercurius for $5. Thank you, sir. Fruitcake doesn't have high fructose corn syrup in it, so Americans don't like it. Well, I mean, it's a little. I mean, come on now. I mean, I eat honey and other stuff because diabetes. I don't like high fructose corn syrup. It's really bad for me. But I don't know. Fruitcake's just. It is. I mean, I've had mild flavored cakes before, but the fruit itself in the fruitcakes actually gives it a nasty quality that I don't like the flavor of. I mean, it's kind of like, yeah, you can eat it, but it wouldn't be my first choice.
Maybe American lineage for fruitcake comes from like German Stollen and stuff instead.
I'm not sure.
You're probably right on that. So I live obviously in Michigan, but there is a town here nearby called Frankenmuth, which is this like little Bavaria tourist trap. I've shown it off before. Tons and tons of German designing and all this. They are very proud of their Stollen.
One moment. What did you just drink?
Rum.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
And yeah, they sell all kinds of fruitcakes. It's probably is a lot of that German import coming in and is going to go ahead and influence that sort of probably taste, because a lot of the area here is was all founded had a bunch of Germans move in.
Well, let's see, for Australian $500 or $5. I wish it was $500. For you, Mercurius, we'll give you the dancing race. We haven't seen that in a while. I love that.
It's good.
You can't eat fruitcake either. I wish it was $500. I really do. That would be so cool. The day somebody ever donates $500 to my channel, I'll probably make them a panel member or something. I don't know. Or maybe an executive producer or something. How would you like my content to proceed?
The day it happens, I will drink my paint water.
Oh, okay. So I ordered some Fallout, some Arizona X Fallout energy drink. And, you get it by the case, and I always buy the variety packs, right? And the normal flavors I'm used to are pomegranate, red apple, or atomic apple, whatever they're calling it, and peach, right? Apparently, they have expanded their repertoire a bit. So now you get pomegranate, but you also get low-calorie pomegranate, which has less sugar. You get red apple still. You get sweet peach, but now you also get a low-calorie Wastelander sweet peach, which is also a low-cal drink. But on top of that, they also started packing in a new flavor that is some kind of orange. It's real subtle.
Are they calling it their Nuka-Cola or Vault-Tec?
I mean, they're not actually specifically branding any particular thing. They're just calling it something generic, like, Atomic or Wastelander or whatever. But yeah, they've expanded their flavors. Plus, as of right now, I believe you can go to Costco and they have some kind of a Jones Soda related Fallout thing where you could buy a big case and it has all these different varieties of Fallout flavored Jones Soda stuff. And I mean, they've got 3 or 4 flavors, including Sunset Sarsaparilla, which is what I really want to try. But it also includes some extra goodies in the box. So,
well, don't forget, Jones is also the company known for making, mashed potatoes and gravy soda.
Unfortunately, I don't have a Costco anywhere near me, so my only hope is to either have a friend send it to me who does live near a Costco, or I have to pay the ridiculous inflated scalper prices on eBay or possibly even Amazon.
Yeah. I managed to get hold of some of that Viking berry monster.
Yeah, indeed. And oh my gosh, Raven, do you want to come on in, dude? Do you want to come in today? You have an open invitation. We can talk about your new Crypt board game. Just let me know. That's Raven CS McCracken, guys.
Yes, it is a fun game. Unfortunately, the box it came in broke and scattered my cards everywhere, so I'm slowly gathering them back together.
Oh, you have a box of it?
Yeah, he sent me a bunch of stuff. I did a review on it. And
nice.
Quick demo, so I'll probably do another demo at some point.
Yeah, that's cool.
2-card pickup.
It was actually kind of funny because one of our friends, Witch Queen, sent me his response video to Mr. Welch, because apparently Mr. Welch has kind of been going pretty hard on Cinnabar lately.
Meaning?
Yeah,
well, it's just he's put out like 3 or 4 videos out about Cinnabar that are not very flattering. Now, granted, I mean, I've already said before, that I couldn't figure out how to play Cinnabar, at least in the first edition. I haven't really gotten around to trying it 3rd edition, but you have, and you've actually figured out how it worked.
Just about.
Mm-hmm. And, despite whatever misgivings I might have about the game one way or the other, I love the setting. I think the setting is awesome. It is super duper innovative, and it's kind of like everything that was awesome about the 80s. I mean, seriously, it is. I mean, it's just like you don't have to be a trope hound. If you lived through the 80s, you can go through the game and you can figure out, oh, I know where he got this. Oh, I know where he got this. Oh, I know where he got this. The only thing I haven't seen in a Cinnabar game, Raven, pay attention. I still haven't seen the triple-bladed sword from Sword and the Sorcerer. Nobody's made that yet. The one that shoots swords and, I don't know, apparently regrows them or something, I guess, because I don't know how he got those back. But that's the one thing I've always wanted to wield in a game is, the triple-bladed sword that shoots swords and has an extra sword built into it.
We need to get that and the glaive and the mind sword.
The mind sword, yeah. And maybe the Atlantean sword from Conan.
Yeah, but that doesn't really do anything funky.
No, other than it's just really just a really good sword. Okay, so here's some stuff I've been working on. I did temporarily halt working on Monster Eater, but I'm going to get back to it this week. But one thing I did do, I realized that I have to. Says, I love it with anti-grav blades. Telepathically controlled, easy to. You're welcome to come in, Raven. You're welcome to come in. Just let me know. I'll drop you a link.
After his mom, I think.
Yeah, he's got to look after his mom, I think. But
be good to your mother, as Mr. T once said.
Oh yeah, definitely. You don't want to be on bad terms with your mom. But anyway, so I got to looking at a lot of Fallout lore videos, and one of the things I really love about Fallout is how well they use environmental storytelling. And what I mean by that is you can come across a pair of skeletons in a Fallout game and a pile of money between the two of them and guns, sitting in each skeleton's hand, and you can instantly realize, like, okay, these two guys just killed each other for money, and I'm just coming across their corpses. Things like that. So I started thinking, I really want to add a lot of environmental storytelling to my Ashes Without Number game to kind of drive home some of the weirdness of the wasteland and some of the little completed stories, that players can stumble upon and either try to figure out what happened or just ignore it and just loot whatever's left and move on.
Like a peculiar number of plungers in one place.
Yeah, something weird like that. And hey, just a passerby is like, yeah, add the mind-controlled throwing star of Crawl with it. Yeah, why not? Hey, Squeaka, happy end of 2025. So I literally sat down and I created 100 individual locations that have basically environmental storytelling as part of their features.
Have you been checked for ADHD or autism?
I'm pretty sure I have both, but why do you ask?
No reason. Just seems like a strange hyperfocus. That's all.
That's how my hyperfocus works. I get hyperfixated on something, and then it's just like, for that very short time while I'm hyperfixated on it, I will either explore it to the end of whatever it is, or it will pass and I will hyperfixate on something else, and whatever I worked on before just kind of sits by the wayside until my hyperfocus returns to it.
Many such cases.
What?
Said many such cases. Here I am painting now. Like painting. I got hyperfixated on painting up some soldiers, and I'm doing that now. And I'm like, oh yeah, this is totally putting aside all the other projects I told myself I was going to get to. I'm supposed to paint. I'm still supposed to paint some goblins for a friend.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, yeah, no, but soldiers.
But yeah, so I literally created like 100 completely different locations. They're all, and some of them are really funny, and some of them are really sad, and they're all fun though. See if I could find one.
The Walking Dead, at least the main series, was pretty good for environmental storytelling.
It was.
That do breakdowns of that as well, which are worth watching.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I did watch The Walking Dead recently too. Just like a few months ago, I watched the entire series from 1 to 10. But what I did is I built in player-facing descriptions, the GM notes on what actually happened, any environmental details, and what you can interact with, any kind of loot or hazards. And I tried to make multiple different skill checks on each location, so it doesn't just default to the guy with the fix skill can fix everything. And And in some cases, I have optional NPC reactions if the Bunny Brigade is present. So those are always fun. But like, here's one of them. This one is what I call the bathroom that almost won. See if you can figure out what happened. But a small standalone bathroom building sits oddly intact among flattened rubble. The door hangs open. Inside, the toilet is pristine, unused, spotless. Less than a foot away from it rises a hardened mound of dark, dried material that fills half the room. Protruding from the mass is a human leg wearing a shoe, toes pointed toward the toilet. A second arm sticks out near the top, fingers curled. The rest of the body is completely buried. The walls are stained high as if something enormous slammed into the structure and exploded inward. Outside, the twisted wreck of a septic pump truck lies embedded in the remains of the building.
Sounds like he almost made it.
What do you think?
Mimic.
Oh, do you?
Toilet mimic. Yeah.
No. No. But here's what actually happened. The individual had just finished using the restroom and stood up moments before a blast wave hurled a fully loaded septic pump truck into the building. The truck breached the wall and ruptured its holding tank instantly. The resulting flood buried the person completely before they could move the remaining step to safety. The toilet, shielded by angle and luck, was never touched, and over decades the material dried and hardened, preserving the body in a foul monument to timing.
Not exactly how it would go.
When in doubt, poop jokes.
Hey, poop jokes are funny. People still like poop jokes. Actually, I have 3 toilet humor-based ones just because they're all funny. Damn.
Yesterday over on Loki's late night show, it all just turned into shit jokes when apparently Snowdub dropped his phone in the toilet.
Did he actually?
That's how I remember it.
Wow. Anyway, I love it when I get these little bursts of creativity and stuff. And yes, I will be running Ashes Without Number tomorrow, but I'm actually considering trying to find some way to maybe use the Monster Eater rules in Ashes Without Number. The only problem is we have so much excess, food that's left over from ancient times. That food isn't really a problem.
We've had luck finding those protein cubes or whatever they are.
Yeah, because they're so tasty.
Delicious.
They were the result of one of your other hyperfixations.
Yes, they were. Yes, well, I mean, there's nothing like enjoying a nice protein bar that tastes like squid and feet, but
which is ironic because squid don't have feet.
Exactly. That's what makes it funny. But anyway, so what stuff have you guys been working on?
Not dying.
Yeah, I've heard about that. Are you all right?
No, but we still haven't quite tracked down what's wrong with me yet because I had to get sick over Christmas when there's a doctor's strike and a flu epidemic. So, everything's taking a bit longer. But, I have arthritis in my hands. I don't have any obvious internal fuckery going on, like tumors or anything. So just waiting on the angiogram still. So
not a tumor.
Other than that, forcing myself to take a break over Christmas, but I should be going back into doing things soon, I'm sure.
I also got sick just as Christmas break was starting up. So yay, I enjoyed hacking up my lungs, and I'm still hacking up stuff. I mean, I know you can probably hear it in my voice every once in a while. I'll have to stop and choke up something or cough. Drinking a lot of fluids just to keep my throat lubricated.
Were you able to have your Christmas burrito?
We didn't actually have burrito. You know what? This was, compared to last Christmas, this was better than last Christmas because, last Christmas I spent it in the hospital.
Yeah.
But this Christmas, it just came and went. There was nothing to it. Didn't celebrate, didn't go anywhere, didn't really give each other gifts, and it was just another day. I mean, Mom went out, did some stuff with other people. I just stayed home and played 7 Days to Die. I mean, what else was there to do? I mean,
well, I didn't see your game up online.
Yeah, well, I stay hidden, but you want me just to start handing you an invite every time?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do that. You don't have it yet, do you, Ironcaster?
I do not. In fact, there was one other zombie game I was getting recommended this Christmas.
There's been a bunch.
Project Arc or
find out. If it's a zombie game, I want to know.
Yeah, I'll ask my brother.
Oh, is it multiplayer?
I believe so.
Arg Zombie?
Maybe it was Project Zomboid.
Oh, Project Zomboid's really good.
Yeah. But tricky.
Well, I mean, it's kind of like, there is no completing the game. It's much like 7 Days to Die.
It's a bit weird to think that here we are. This is the last Week in Geek of the year. Thinking back over everything that's happened this year, all the laughs, all the stories we've had. We went from having Wizards of the Coast sticking their foot in their mouth every single week to essentially being a dead company.
Yeah, we're a zombie company, ironically enough.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
they are, and it's so weird to look and see how there's kind of already rumors of them talk about putting out 6th edition.
Well, there have been some interesting things happening. I mean, obviously Netflix acquiring Warner Brothers. I have
that's still not finalized, and plus there's the I guess there's like an offer from Paramount.
Yeah, I heard there was an offer from Paramount also, but either way, I mean, whoever gets it, it's going to be a big deal. Paramount is kind of being pretty aggressive ever since they had their new CEO take over. Like I said, he's getting rid of Taylor Sheridan, which I think is the dumbest goddamn thing you could do in your entire life. I mean, he's been pretty much the golden goose that's been keeping Paramount alive. However, what you probably didn't know is that Paramount has a deal with UFC. So now if you have Paramount, you will be able to watch UFC events as part of your Paramount streaming subscription. Oh, and look, as soon as I mention UFC, Daniel shows up.
Oh, talking about that Paramount purchase.
Yeah, you heard about that? How UFC is going to be is going to be hooked into Paramount now?
Yeah, and they fixed the most massive problem that they've had since they went to ESPN.
Mm-hmm.
Which is wanting to hit me up for $70 every month to watch fights, as opposed to $60 for the whole damn year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's a pretty shrewd move for Dana.
Yeah,
which
it is.
Which
wasn't there something that had come out where apparently they're getting the the Duffler brothers, the guys from Stranger Things, are going to come over to Paramount?
Yeah, the Duffer Brothers are coming to Paramount. They got rid of Taylor Sheridan as soon as his contract is up. He's gone.
And I believe he might be going over to Netflix.
No, he is going over to I want to say it's Universal, but I forgot exactly. Hang on a minute. I'll look it up real quick.
I would say, if nothing else, I feel stronger about him going over to do what he's going to do than the Duffler brothers going over to Paramount. Because you look at what's going on with Stranger Things, people are feeling passionate about it or all this stuff. All I know is I never bothered watching it because it's just more member-bearing 80s nostalgia. And plus, like, I can't talk about Vecna with people without, like, people bringing up Stranger Things. It's like, oh, fuck you.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Taylor Sheridan is moving from Paramount to a potentially $1 billion deal with NBC Universal. Which I think is crazy because, Paramount should have done everything they could to suck this man's dick and keep him right where he is. But, that's just my opinion. But, the other big news we had, and I'm sure Daniel's heard this already. Jake Paul got his jaw broken in 2 places by AJ.
Yes, he did.
And my thought on it, too, is I'm kind of like, what chance did he really think he was going to have? Because, it's like AJ knocked out fucking Francis Ngannou, the man who hits as hard as a goddamn Honda Civic hitting you.
He just moved on from, Jake Paul, and he's had some legitimate fights with some journeyman boxers, and he's done very well. And he has fought some, well past their prime fighters, some, people like Tyron Woodley, who's a wrestler, and, put some names up there along with the YouTube stuff that it's allowed him to create some additional hype and some additional money for himself. This is the first time he's actually fought a world-class boxer. And
he got his ass schooled by not Tyson Fury, but the other Fury.
Yeah. I'll tell you this right now. If he fought Deontay Wilder, he'd be dead by round 2.
Yeah. Deontay's pretty amiable, though, from what I understand.
He's a good guy. He just hits really hard.
Yeah. He's a big dude.
That's one I know personally. So I've worked out with him many times.
Oh, wow. But
I used to train back in my kickboxing and MMA days, I used to train my team out of Sky Boxing in Northport, which is where he cut his teeth in Golden Gloves. That's that's JD's outfit. But so I've worked out a lot. Oh yeah, and he's a great guy. He really is. But the thing about him is it's like getting hit with a battering ram. So
yeah, I'm surprised he didn't kill Charlie Z, but
which he'll probably, and he would destroy Jake Paul though. Funniest thing I saw, though, was some little comedy sketch video, but it was Jake Paul's manager. He's like, all right, we've got your next opponent all lined up for as soon as your jaw's healed. And he pulls up a picture of Ric Flair.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, that about measures up to who his typical opponent is.
Indeed.
90 years old and from something that has nothing to do with boxing.
Well, see, that's the thing is people keep trying to say like, oh no, the fight with AJ was a work and all this sort of stuff. And I'm kind of like, I don't know how much of that fight was scripted or a work or whatever, but I'm pretty positive that no matter how it was written to go out, it wasn't meant that Jake Paul was supposed to get his fucking jaw broken in 2 places and pretty much to permanently end his boxing career.
No, it ain't gonna permanently end his boxing career. They'll heal him up. He'll have some surgery. He'll be back. But
he's got 2 titanium plates holding his jaw together, though.
It happens. But the thing about it is that a lot of people seem to forget that most of these Jake Paul fights are exhibitions for a myriad of reasons. A lot of cases because the athletic commissions won't approve the massive disparity in accomplishment and record and experience without it being an exhibition. Mm-hmm. And an exhibition is a fight that is intended for one person to it's not super serious.
It's a show.
Yeah, it's a show. It's an exhibition of skills. You're not going in for the kill. And you're not necessarily pulling your punches, but it's kind of like playing a scrimmage game where, I'm going to test out a few different defensive schemes. I'm going to put in some backup players, and I'm going to run these squirrely plays and whatnot in my playbook and all that stuff. And not something I would do in a regular season game. I'm here to work the bugs out. And you get a lot of that with exhibition fights. And
well, in Jake's case, though, I believe he was either trying to win or he had something to prove, because it was actually said before the fight that the ring, he had it enlarged slightly. And then when you saw what his game was, which is basically just running around the ring and avoiding AJ.
Well, I think this one wasn't an exhibition. Because I'll give you a kind of a famous example. That was a big argument that was made when Conor McGregor was going to fight Floyd Mayweather. Is everybody wants to be, it's got to be an exhibition because he has no pro boxing experience, this, that, and the other. And they argued back and forth of that because, Conor McGregor was like, you can call it an exhibition all you want to. I'm going to try and take the guy's head off. Same thing happened with Mike Tyson and Jake Paul. Because Mike Tyson, technically an exhibition because they weren't going to approve him for anything else. But he wasn't going in with any he wasn't going to not try and take his head off. I'm looking it up right now to see if
he had a freaking heart attack ahead before the fight.
Yeah. Mike Tyson, once Mike Tyson had anything, and I actually said this ahead of time, talking to a friend of mine, I was like, here's the thing. I was like, as long as nothing happens to Mike Tyson in training camp, he'll knock Jake Paul's head off of his shoulders. However, if anything happens to him in training, I don't care what it is, he's done. And the reason he's done is because the man's so old that there's absolutely no way he's going to recover.
Yeah.
He will not be able to recover from anything to the level he needs to be at. His stamina won't be there in. And, he got hurt and he had the little infarction situation. He got in the ring and the dude looked like he was moving through concrete.
Well, not only that too, but you could see he was holding back a bunch. That whole glove biting thing. Basically that was him reminding himself, hey, I can't knock this kid out because I want a payday. And he got a better payday than Logan Paul or than Jake Paul did. So,
well, I mean, that's the biting the glove is something he's been doing since he's been training himself for Jake Paul since 1992, if that's the case, because Mike Tyson's been biting his glove his entire career.
I don't remember him doing that, but
oh yeah, he's done that his entire career. It's way worse. Like it was way worse when he's in a bad spot. Like he did it a lot when he was fighting Evander Holyfield before he bit his ear.
I have to watch that now. I have to go back and watch those because I saw those fights growing up, but anyway, yeah, just kind of moving on along. It's like, yeah, okay, so the talk is that Elon is going to buy Hasbro or is going to buy D&D.
So,
I don't really think it's going to happen, but
there's two things.
Yeah.
First, I think it's ultimately a joke. Like, because you gotta remember that idea came off like fresh of him buying Twitter and X, where he have shit posts saying, "What should I buy next?" It's like he's not going to actually do this. And I mean, not only that, because he didn't even have the money to be able to buy all of Twitter by himself. He had to go get a bunch of investors to go in on it to try to turn it around. But the thing is, even if he were to, he's not doing it for Dungeons and Dragons. He's doing it for the name Optimus, because he's talking about making those AI robots.
Mm-hmm.
There's like all kinds of other things to his business enterprises that he'd be interested in it for, and there's a number of reasons why he would want to go for these things. Not just because of the pop culture aspect, like that's never really been a lot of what he's been about. It's always been about he wants to build the everything platform. He wants to try to build up all this communication. It's like, well, what does Hasbro have to offer? Nothing they produce benefits that.
Well, and there's some other stuff that could go to that too. Like one, he's not going to buy the entire company. What he would do is he'd buy a controlling interest. You're talking about a publicly traded company. So it's not like and yes, he could theoretically just buy the entire thing and take it private, which is what he did with Twitter. But I seriously doubt he's going to buy the entirety of Hasbro. It just doesn't make a lot of sense. Though buying some of the IP, I could see, and even I mean, he might buy a controlling interest. It's entirely possible that he could buy a controlling interest, or could do some kind of stock deal in order to get the IP that he wants, if he in fact wants it.
Well, Hasbro traditionally does not sell off their IP. They'll put it on ice, but they won't sell it off. So they recognize what the value of their IP. So it would take a hell of a good offer.
And the thing is, all he would really have to buy is like 10 to 15%, because anything above that, and that's when you start getting into serious like FTC issues where you are buying up substantial amounts of a business.
Now he's going to run into that regardless if you're buying a controlling interest, you're going to get that kind of scrutiny either way. Controlling interest is an important thing. So let's see here. If it's 11.6 billion, then 1.1 he could purchase 10% of the company.
Why has this come back up again though? Because it was last year that he said something about it.
Well, I think what happened was about a month ago there was some new articles that came up were about calling D&D problematic for its past, and then they tied it to Elon.
Right. So that stirred the pot again.
More or less. Well, in fact,
that doesn't mean much anyway. When you have that kind of money that you're working with, chances are Elon Musk owns at least some portion of probably 90% of the companies you deal with on a regular basis. Because you don't have that kind of net worth without a lot of diversification and a lot of money that's not even really managed by you.
Plus, I think he's going to have a lot of bigger issues with RAM shortages. That's probably what he would be looking to do, to look into either AMD or probably not NVIDIA, just Asus. There's a few companies there he would probably be more interested in getting, because again, the Optimus robots he wants to build, because all his AI is going to need the RAM. It's going to be more about computer components.
Yeah.
Yes. Speaking of that, go ahead.
I was just to say, I don't think he would take part in any sort of day-to-day running of anything. It's not worth his time or his effort. He just dresses it up in the kind of culture war issues because that gets him a happy audience, I think. So yeah, it'll be for things like Optimus and trademark names and things like that. That's all he'd be interested in. So I don't think it would make any real difference either way, to be honest.
Probably not. I was going to say that we've had all kinds of interesting news here lately about the things that are shifting around in the money. I don't want to get into political stuff, but a lot of folks apparently have been defrauding the system, and that's getting taken care of one building at a time, apparently. In Minnesota.
Minnesota's way bad.
Yeah.
The Somali situation up there it's bad. Like, I mean, that's a concerted effort situation. I mean, living up to being called pirates. That's legitimately a situation where you had a targeted immigration by a group of people illegally all into a specific area, because that is pretty much all where they're at. I mean, I'm not saying every single Somali in the country is part of that, but I'm saying that particular set right there, they get in, they have a very friendly government towards themselves in that area, and then they milk the system for everything it's worth, because the system is infinitely milkable if you know how to do it.
Well, like I said, I wasn't going to try to get into all the politics of it, but
can I just say though, it is a bit rich to go after Somalis for being pirates when the US is literally performing piracy on the high seas, and Trump has talked about handing out letters of marque to private individuals to steal oil tankers.
That's called privateering. Privateering.
Right. I want an oil tanker. Is that so wrong?
I mean,
I'll give the oil.
one.
I want the ship.
Coolest bit of
Go
water,
take one.
definitely.
I don't know what I would do with an oil tanker. I guess I'd have to like rent it out or something. That would probably make me some money. I could probably retire on. But anyway,
I'm retired in the oil industry.
I'll keep the oil. You keep the tanker. We'll have fun with it.
Well, the funny thing, I've been thinking about this more and more here lately, and that is the real secret to getting rich in America really seems to be having a startup company that has a decent dollar value and is fairly productive and looks good, and then selling that son of a bitch off as soon as it's most profitable.
No, trust me.
The idea.
Business world has been writing about what are called zombie corporations for about 15 to 20 years now. You'll actually see a lot of that. You got a lot of that with the AI bubble right now because we are in an AI bubble. Now, this is a classic bubble, not like the tulip bubble or the real estate bubble. This is a naturally occurring, innovative bubble that's supposed to happen. But eventually, one of these AI companies or two of these AI companies are going to really unlock the secret sauce of the most efficient, best way to do it. And all the rest of them, the ones that only one person can get to that finish line first. And those companies that aren't standing on the podium, they're going to tank. But in this time when you have all these people rushing towards that technology, you got a lot of companies out there that are basically a Grok-powered, rebranded AI company that's there just to generate revenue, generate something, generate some private backing so they can turn around and sell the company, collect their money, and then they're done with it. And then their AI company is just one of the many that collapses. And you had it with Uber. You had a lot of this with like a lot of the gig and ride sharing stuff. People don't remember because most of them didn't know there were lots of Ubers and Lyfts. Uber and Lyft are just the ones that say there's multi like 9-figure net worth people in Arizona right now that are 30 years old, and they got their 9-figure net worth because they created a pseudo Uber that they managed to sell off before everybody realized it was going to be Uber and Lyft.
Yeah, these companies, they're called AI wrappers. So basically, they sell a sort of particular instance of a publicly available AI. So they put zero work in. They rent an office. They do the office up. They hire a few people who basically have nothing to do, and then after a while, they just pack the whole thing up, take the money, and that's it.
Yep.
So,
and speaking of AI, since we're on this topic, go ahead.
I was just saying. It's now become like the big buzzword that we are seeing with every company, where any corporation that's publicly traded is going to push that AI buzzword because because they all think that that's going to be what investors want to hear because they all think they're chasing that trend. So you will have a company that has nothing to do with like real electronic stuff is going to start pushing in a lot more AI stuff because it makes it sound good to investors that they're on the cusp of new technologies.
It's the same thing that happened with the .com bubble in the late 2000 and the early 2000s.
True, but the thing with AI is, you got so many people who are resistant to it. They're screaming about, like, oh no, AI art. Oh no, you used AI. They stripped Claire Obscure 33 of its game of the year because they had AI not in the actual game, but just in the images for it.
In a single graphic that they had forgotten to replace before it went live.
Yeah, but and not only that, profit that game made from selling it to a bunch of people. No, they didn't. So who cares about game of the year?
Well, the deal is, it's like now the directors and stuff are talking about, oh, we feel really shamed of using AI and all this kind of stuff, and I'm just kind of like
formative garbage. They're a loud minority. I mean, they didn't take that game they did not take that game of the year trophy to the bank and deposit it for $500,000. They really don't care about it. But the thing is like, I mean, you may as well yell about the cars taking over the horse and buggy and the auto loom taking over the weaving because that's what you're doing. I mean, I hate to say it, AI, yeah, we're in a place with it, and there's definitely some ethical considerations when people are lying about whether or not they use it at all. But it's the future. And, Joe Rogan once famously said, you can't stop the internet. Well, guess what, internet? You can't stop AI.
No, you can't.
It is unfair that they took their reward away from them, I think.
Yes.
And it's a lot easier for them to have largesse and say, oh, we're terribly sorry, we'll never do it again. Now that they're sitting on a giant throne made of money, it is a lot easier at that point to say, oh, we won't use it anymore.
Well, the thing is, by the time they get their next game out, everybody will have pretty much come to terms with AI, because the fact is, you're not going to be able to get away from it, and nor should you want to, really, because it's a tool. It's like any other tool. When I have to come up with stuff, I use AI to help me out with it. I don't necessarily use AI to do everything for me, but definitely when I want to come up with some flavor text or something like that, I'm like, this could probably use a little bit of punching up, put it through AI, see what it comes up with. And if I like it, I use it. But
it's a useful tool. There's no doubt about it. I use it for double checking regulations in my industry all the time.
Oh, yeah.
They're constantly changing. And there's, I've had encyclopedia levels of books on my shelf before that are just regulations for me to dig through. And me being able to punch it into AI and get my footnotes and whatnot that I can go find them. It saves me hours and hours.
It does. Yeah. OGGM uses it for his stuff too.
Corpse Game.
Now how well it, does art and everything is kind of like, that's kind of like a really weird subject. It's like, I'm an artist. Would I use AI to generate art? Well, actually, yeah, just because even though I can do it myself, the AI does it faster, and in some cases, it does it better than I do, because I'm limited by what models and things I have, so I can't always make everything I wish to. So
there's also a case to be made for good enough. Sometimes you don't need super good. Like, for instance, I don't think anybody should ever, other than maybe some minor alterations in order to trademark it, I don't think anybody make a company logo or anything like that ever again through a commission artist. You should never, ever, ever pay an artist to make a flat silhouette, like black and white type image or something like that for like a logo for your lawn care company or something like that. That's I
lost it. I lost a viewer. I had 13. Now I'm down to 12. Somebody heard my take on AI and said, "Nah, fuck you, T-shirt."
But I will tell you, I will tell you one added benefit. This is one of those auxiliary benefits to AI. Now, of course, double-edged sword like anything else. The data centers and stuff that are necessary to run them.
Yeah, it's making the DDR5 prices go insane. And you got DDR5 manufacturers who are quitting, and DDR5 manufacturers who are starting up to pick up the stopgap.
But what it is going to do is, I bet you it helps the housing situation quite a bit. Because what you got is these data centers, you don't have the space and the land and stuff for them to put them in the metropolitan areas. So they go to the rural, the semi-rural suburb communities outside of the major metropolitan areas. They need to be close enough to get the infrastructure brought out, but they can't really be in the city most of the time. So the net result is a lot of these data centers are dragging infrastructure improvements into areas that would not see them for probably 15 years, which means they're also bringing jobs and money and stuff, but they're also bringing easier development, which easier development means more houses, which means houses get cheaper, which means there's less of a housing problem.
That's my fault.
They are having I think in the next few years, you'll see that benefit of those data centers actually shoving infrastructure out into rural areas in much the way that the USDA lending initiative was designed to do.
Well, what I suspect will start happening at some point, I don't know how far down the line it'll start happening, but it'll basically be kind of like a case of the same way that we used to do, or that we did crypto mining, in that people will have their machines online and they'll basically be nodes for AI for a larger AI to use, and all of that will feed back into a bigger center that processes all the AI, and it just basically uses your machine to run a node of AI so that everybody else can get it. And at some point, they'll probably actually start paying for it, so you'll be able to kind of like get a small amount of pay for basically using your machine as a zombie or as an AI node, which ain't bad. But I don't know how far we are from that. But I think it's going to happen.
That's probably not too far fetched.
Because
it's actually kind of the opposite of the whole Bitcoin thing. Is the Bitcoin thing, one computer could mine coin pretty easy when they were like, $100 a coin.
Well, it's interesting looking at the crypto thing because there was so much negative pushback against crypto mining. A lot of those companies, wherever they were putting up a data center, they would also put up a renewable power plant, or they would position them in places where there's hydropower or something else. You've got lots of easy access to water and power. If these AI data centers can be pushed and nudged either by legislation or by local activism and national activism, if they can be pushed into doing something similar, then these power problems probably won't be so much of a problem because you have all this small localized power generation as well. And then when a bunch of the companies go belly up and their data centers shut down, you'll still have the power infrastructure. So that could end up being good.
And I would use the free market for that. It pushes harder anyway.
Yeah. But I mean, it's entirely plausible. And it's probably, like Edward says, it's probably closer than you think.
Definitely.
I don't know. Just, like I said, people screaming about AI or, they're basically, they're screaming about the treads of the tank that's about to roll over them, whether they want it to or not. And we've already gotten a taste of it in 2025. I think 2026, it's going to be more heavily cemented. And part of the deal too, is we, the ones who are yelling about it the most, I should say our generation and maybe the previous generation who are yelling about it the most, we're going to get phased out because the upcoming generation of kids are going to, pretty much. All right. This is something I wanted to get into with Ironcaster, and I think I've already mentioned this, but kids don't really play with toys anymore.
No.
I've got little nephews and nieces and stuff like that, and they have devices they play with. They don't really play with toys, and with the price that they have on toys anyway, I could understand why, because it's really fucking expensive to buy a $25 action figure, and it's a lot cheaper.
This year for Christmas, I bought my nephew I bought him a Mecha Godzilla for $10-11, like simple cheap rubber one, and of course he's way more into cars, so it's a little bit of a moot point there. But you're right, because what we fundamentally seen is just a general shift in the way kids play. They're given an iPad or one of these tablets from like one or two, and they look around, they see their parents. The parents are always on their phone, so it is naturally ingrained in them. There's screens everywhere. Everything's always looking at screens.
Right.
You go to McDonald's, you're looking at a screen.
And one thing I remember is well, I should say I'm not going to get into that, but the fact that AI is becoming more and more accessible, and we're talking about large language models, LLMs, not really true AI. But the fact is, since the LLMs can look up anything and kind of help generate anything for you that you want, the kids are going to grow up with that in hand at an early age, and they're going to be pretty much reliant upon it to get through their everyday life. I mean, like if they don't know how to do something, they'll ask AI, how do you do this? And the AI will point them at a website or a video, or it'll just tell them how to do it. I mean, that's the truth.
Like
and
they always used to tell us, you're not going to be carrying around a calculator all the time, so you need to know this math stuff. Not so much.
Expensive toys are the fault of collectors. Well, yeah, that is true, but also the toys these days are a hell of a lot better made than they were back in my day. Because, those original G.I. Joes that I have, they have holes in their feet, so that you can stand them up on pegs, right? Well, I had one of my my original hit and run from the G.I. Joe series, and I, had some of my little pegboards that they could stand up on. So I put him on there, and the damn heel broke because the plastic had grown brittle.
I mean, that's an Ouroboros of an argument right there, too. Expensive toys are the fault of collectors, so are the high quality ones, because they're making toys for collectors, not for they're making toys to be super articulation, excessive detail and stuff designed to sit on a shelf, as opposed to making them designed for you to go break them in the backyard and buy another one next week.
Say what? Aren't original Joes 18 inches?
No,
I'm not talking about those, Ed. That was like from the 60s, dude. I'm talking about like the ones from the 80s that I grew up with, the little 3-inch ones. But and now they're making them 6-inch. So, as a matter of fact, I got one in honor of Grimm not too long ago.
But the other thing with that also to take in consideration is just birth rates. You don't have as many kids around anymore to pick up that slack and keep asking for the toys, because millennials, they didn't get a good start out, coming into the workforce, coming into that adult life, to go and have children of their own. The 08 housing recession, the housing crisis, there was a number of things there along the way. And then you put on top of that, well, these companies got to keep pushing this stuff. We got to keep expanding out. Well, thanks to the internet, you now have people who are still these adult collectors who are here to keep buying these things. And so the only thing they seem to feel fit to do was, well, keep pandering to the people who are still buying. It is these adult collectors.
I'm always a bit wary of these kinds of discussions because they turn into a bit of, old man shouts at cloud sort of thing. Because we were on computers a lot, home computers and so on, and our parents were always trying to chase us off them. Go outside, get some fresh air and some exercise. And we would go off and get into scrapes and then get into trouble for that as well.
Mm-hmm.
But it didn't really do us any harm. So the paradigm shifts every generation or two about what a childhood is. A lot of these kids are spending time with their friends. They're just doing it online. Like my nephews, all they want is Robux.
Yep.
To spend on Roblox, but then they go into Roblox and they have 20, 30 friends, and they're playing games together in there, like Capture the Flag, or they're building stuff, or
Fortnite skins.
Yeah, and also 20, 30-year-old friends in there too.
Well, the other thing as well to point out, let's not ignore the fact that 5 years ago everything was shut down. You couldn't go out. You couldn't go and be with your friends. So you have kids who've grown up, who've now, like you were saying, who've gone and made those connections, made those friends online. That's where their friends are at.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, look at us even. I mean, it's like, look, I've got a friend over in Britain. I've got a friend over in, where the hell are you? Alabama or Georgia? Alabama, yeah. And then Iron Catcher's over in Michigan. So you guys are friends. I mean, okay. I mean, maybe you wouldn't walk through hell for me, but maybe you would. I don't know.
Through heck, maybe, not hell.
Well.
Depends on which level.
Yeah, there you go. But the point still stands. It's like I know that there's somebody out there who gives a shit about me one way or the other, and it's nice. And that by the same token, I also give a shit about you. So, it is what it is. And people would say well, yeah, but you never actually met them face to face and all that. And I'm like, yeah, but we've talked enough. I've seen their faces. I know who they are. And if I went over there, I would be able to identify them. well, yeah, but you don't really go see them or anything. Like I have actual living friends who live in this town, and I don't go see them all the time either. So it's same difference, isn't it? You know, we have phones.
I will tell you where there is a problem in schools, and from what I've heard, it's even worse in the States. But several of my old friendship group went into teaching. All of them have now quit because it's just impossible to get the kids, even the bright ones, to want to do anything or to pay attention for any length of time. They don't want to learn. And the kids that act up, you can't really do anything to punish them unless they go completely overboard. So, friend of the family, her son is mixed race, and at his school, a bunch of racist bullies picked on him consistently for about a month. And then he got together with a couple of other minority kids, and they jumped the ringleader and beat the shit out of him. He's been suspended, not the kids who were bullying him for months, because his act was premeditated. Right? That's how they're viewing it. So he's the only kid involved that has had anything done to him. So how are you supposed to keep order in any way, shape, or form?
Well, you have litigious generations that have made that a thing. The fact is, that when the parents started siding with the children over the teachers and the principals and everything else, and started litigating more and more and more, it became a situation where they started taking more and more power away from what the what the administrators and what the teachers could actually do in terms of discipline or anything. I mean, it's like I've got friends who are coaches and stuff like that. They can't make you run laps around the gym or the backstops or any of that stuff like they used to do to us. Yeah. Not anymore. They can't use, PE as a form of punishment.
I think that started to happen while we were at school, being of similar ages. I think it began then. Some parents, all right, Gen X, a lot of parents were like, nah, don't give a fuck. Sink or swim on your own. But a lot of other kids, especially middle-class kids, their parents were already helicoptering.
Yeah.
And standing up for little Timmy in any conflict.
Well, it's not helicopter parenting; it's bulldozer parenting.
Yeah,
getting out in the way of the kid to knock down any and every obstacle, because little Timmy can't do anything wrong.
Yep.
I'm glad I didn't go into teaching now.
Well, I do admire people who do stick to teaching, just because it is a difficult profession. And I've worked with youth in my past, and I know how they can be. And obviously I have, like I said, I have family who are younger, so I see what their kids are like. And, I know what we're going through as trends. I don't know where it's all going to eventually. I think what will start happening is more privatized institutions will start opening up, and a lot of teachers may end up becoming private instructors for homeschooling.
But the problem with that is then you have the issue in the States, especially. You have the issue of the unions who would have a problem with a lot of that stepping in, because it doesn't put money in the union's pocket.
Well, see, that's the thing. A lot of states are not union anymore. I mean, there's a lot of them where it is, like Texas, for example, is a I don't know if it's called like right to work or what it is, what the deal is, but basically it's like, yeah.
But when you talk about government entities, unfortunately, there's a lot of NLB and whatnot interference that goes in there. The honest truth is that if you work in the public sector at all, you should not be allowed to unionize. Period. End of story. It should be completely illegal, because a union is supposed. And I hate unions of all ilk to start with, but a union is supposed to negotiate with the person paying them. So the union negotiates on behalf of the workers with the people who are doing the paying. That's not what happens in the public sector, because the taxpayer is paying and there's a representative here, and the union donates to the representative and then negotiates their salary with them and negotiates how hard they are to fire and puts stuff and writes the laws that make it difficult to get rid of them when they're incompetent. And I think the problem is harder to promote the people who are good at their job because, oh, you haven't been here enough time, you don't have tenure or whatever, which just incentivizes at best mediocrity, and more it incentivizes mediocrity, and then it lowers the bar of what mediocrity is. So if you're in the public sector, it should be wholesale illegal for you to, you know what your union is? The ballot box. Convince enough people to go vote for you to get a pay raise, vote for you to get some kind of legislation or something. There's your union right there at the ballot box.
I think the problem is that unions have become ossified, calcified. They're just part of the system now in a lot of places. I mean, part of the reason I haven't been able to get my other medical scan is because the junior doctors here are on strike. Now, that's really inconvenient for me, but also they haven't had a pay rise for about 14 years under the previous government. So for them to be able to collectivize and argue that, you know, they should at least have had rises in line with inflation, that seems perfectly sensible and understandable to me. And you've got to have that balancing power, whether it be against government or powerful corporations. And the only way workers can do that,
box and vote to lock them out because they're not providing me what I'm paying for.
The only way that they have to compete with those power structures is through collective bargaining. But the trouble is the unions have become an institution unto themselves. And that's where I think
or they can quit and go into private practice. That's a way to fight against the nationalist.
A lot of
option, do you?
a lot of people go into public service genuinely because they want to help people, and if they go into private practice, they don't get to do that so much. At least that's very much part of the mindset over here, particularly in health, but also in education.
Remind me to get with you after this is over about that bridge I want to sell you.
Oh, come on, guys.
It's true. I think there's a different attitude towards public service over here. Increasingly, I think that's one of the big disparities.
Well, so much for not getting political. Okay, let's shift.
In the broadest strokes t-shirt.
Yeah, but it
heated. Yeah, at least it's not. Yeah, so long as it doesn't get heated and we don't start calling each other names and getting ugly with one another. Okay.
But you would say that you smell of wee and poo.
Who, me?
Politics are downstream of culture.
I mean, I could use a shower, but other than that, okay. So, who has actually watched both episodes of Fallout yet? Season 2.
I've watched the first 2 episodes.
Okay, I have 2. Ironcaster hasn't watched it at all because he hasn't even watched the first season yet. Because he's a slacker.
I have minis to paint.
You can put it on in the background while you paint minis. I've done it many a time.
So I can cheat and not watch the show.
Well, I mean, as long as you can hear what's going on, right? Okay. So this is kind of my thought on season 1 and actually on season 2 so far. Obviously, we had 2 houses, you know, a different one on TV with a different actor, and then we've got the other one. Obviously, one of them is Anthony House, and the other one is Robert House. Robert House is the guy who, you know, becomes the, you know, that basically he becomes an immortal. And his brother is the one who is on TV and stuff, and he's part of. Okay, just for people who are not like totally Fallout savvy. There are 2 houses. One of them is Anthony. Anthony owns HHH Tools, right? And then there's Robert House. He owns Robco. And basically, what I think it is Robert actually bought out Anthony's HHH Tools and basically is using him as a figurehead of the company.
If I remember correctly from all the various different terminals and stuff you can read in New Vegas, HHH Tools is kind of the family business. Anthony runs it. Robert House is the genius who makes things like, say, the HHH nail gun and whatnot, and all these really good things that cause it to blow up into a big business. And he basically gets cut out by Anthony. So Robert founds Robco, makes the Robco Industries, gets bigger, and then goes and basically buys the family business back just to spite his brother and family.
Yep. That's it. Exactamundo.
And apparently he does brain control now.
Yeah, which, I'm going to make this little observation. Okay. A few years ago, this exact same team, Nolan and Joy, did another show called Westworld. And
one.
Huh?
Great. Season 1 was great.
Season 1 was great, but as we got into all the way up to season 4, they started to get more and more into mind control or control over other people to eventually where they were starting to control humans. Right? And it was ridiculous and it was stupid, but that's not the point. The point is, now here we are in Fallout Season 2, and again, we're seeing all this mind control shit. And what I believe we are seeing in Fallout Season 2 is... Let me see. Where is it? I had this. This is perfect for this. One moment. Oh, by the way, somebody wants to know what paint you're using, Ironcaster.
You're muted.
Oh, I am using the Army Painter Speed Paint.
Okay. This is really and truly what I think of Fallout Season 2.
This is pretty much what I think of every single current series going up on Netflix or any of these places. And half the RPGs that have been made.
Well, in my case, at least, that's probably partially true. Although I have not yet made, Feet the RPG yet. But
Furries and Flamers is the new game.
Don't worry, I'll make one that's all about Feet, and I'll make Grim publish it. So then he has to edit it first.
No. If ever there's a use case for AI, that is it.
Yeah.
He'll get his revenge with AI art.
Well, but yeah, I like episode 1 and I like episode 2. They have kind of introduced a lot of new characters. I don't know if that I can really say anything necessarily bad, but there's some plot holes as always, and there's a little bit of plot armor, and there are changes from the game. Like, they start off over at Novak, and Dinky the dinosaur is facing inward towards a pool that doesn't exist in the game.
Yeah.
But it was still enjoyable to watch. And the ghoul, of course, is an absolute badass.
Yeah, but it's the little nitpicks like that I feel like give all the criticism kind of a bad name, because we get hyper focused on elements like that when there are the bigger elements at play that are justifiable ones that are wrong. Like, for example, the Brotherhood of Steel, destroying old tech. Like, that is a core fundamental thing fans should get fucking pissed about. Not Dinky the dinosaur is turned the wrong way. It's like. Choose your battles.
Yeah,
for the most part, I can agree with that. To me, the big issue with stuff like, say, Dinky the dinosaur facing the wrong way is how much do you really care if something that easy is missed? That's one thing there. Now, I will say this. I think that House has a bit of the wrong attitude. At least he does in the flashback.
Mm-hmm.
It's like none of that follows the kind of ruthless self-assuredness that he had. He seems too unsure of himself. And the mind control thing just doesn't fit with his personality. And never really has. That's not... That it doesn't jive with the way that character works, which is part of why I have an issue with it. And I'm really not liking the whole spin of Robco and Vault-Tec colluded to nuke the planet.
Yeah,
that is stupid. That
was dumb.
Antithetical to everything that the series was based on.
Well, not only that, but it's like, if Robco and Vault-Tec, work together to cause the nuclear thing in the first place, it's like, how did Robco miss any of those nukes then? Because they would have known exactly where they were coming and been able to shoot them all down.
I thought the original
entire thing was that Robert House was telling people this was coming, knew it was coming, and nobody would listen to him. So he just made the best thing he could to stop the bombs from hitting Vegas, and he didn't get his upgrade in time to completely save his entire county.
That's the whole New Vegas story. What were you saying, Graham?
I thought originally the whole idea was that House was just such a singular genius that he figured out this was all going to happen, and so he set up so he could survive. Just he was
exactly
very, very clever.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
It's the one thing in both Vegas and Fallout 4 that kind of pissed me off, because House is like a leftover from the old world. He's got all this technology. He has a plan to re-civilize the wasteland. And in Fallout 4, the Institute, in a lot of similar ways. You don't have to make them 100% good, but both were portrayed as the bad guys in a lot of ways, even though they hold the keys to, regenerating the world and making some kind of life for everybody again. And yet they're kind of set up almost as the villains. And that never quite sat right with me.
Well, it's because...
And more autocrats, so...
Yeah, they're autocrats, but also it's the fact that they are willing to sacrifice everybody on the surface in order to repopulate and rebuild the way they wish, not the way everybody else wishes. So it's kind of like, you may not like your life. It may be hard, but I mean, do you really want somebody walking in there and then demanding that you do exactly what they do or you die?
I don't think either of them were genocidal exactly.
The Institute was genocidal.
It was pretty genocidal. Now, House, on the other hand, House kind of took it of a, I really don't care what you do yourself as long as you operate within my system. Right. I am going to be the sole arbiter of my system, and you work within it or you get excised.
Yep.
But, I don't care what you do in your normal life. Go eat people or whatever you want to do.
That's part of his disconnect with Vault-Tec and the Enclave. That he doesn't want to go along with their idea to destroy the world and make it anew. He had a different philosophy, and I feel like the Institute was the same in a lot of ways. So
yes and no. Speaking of which, I will go ahead and I will toss out a bet. I bet at some point during this season, there will be an Institute synth show up in the show somewhere. And again, it's because they already worked on Westworld. They already know how they can fit it in. And again, it's a case of the writer's barely disguised fetish.
They've already brought in the Commonwealth because they're making the same mistake that a lot of these shows make. You got a group of writers who are not interested in actually writing within that world. They want to write whatever stupid ass story they want to write and put the skin suit on. But in order to keep the people who actually know somewhat interested and somewhat quiet and somewhat placated, they just need to make sure that every single episode beats them over the head with a handful of member berries. You got to have all the different little callbacks. We got to have the guy who clearly is wearing Maxim's coat come over from the Commonwealth and the Pridwin, because we've got to have them. We've got to have the synths from the Institute show up. We are going to play
Big Iron without a single revolver being used.
No, actually,
Big Iron in use.
Yeah, they did Big Iron in the first episode when when the ghoul was shooting up everybody. So yeah, they did that.
And they had there was not a single 6-shooter in the entire thing.
No.
That's what I'm saying.
By the way,
there were no big irons.
Do you actually know what the Big Iron song is based on?
Actually,
Marty Robbins walked into a gun store and sitting up above the counter, up on the wall. The guy who had the gun store had this specially made gun. It was like I want to say it was like a 44-40. Basically, it was a huge ass handgun that was designed to, basically fire cut down rifle rounds or whatever. He saw that and he was just immediately inspired to make, to do that song Big Iron. So he ran out and he wrote that song, and that's what he means by the Big Iron. Basically, the Arizona Ranger was using like a 44-40 pistol.
4570 government.
Yeah, or 4570 government. Yeah, whatever it is, but
kind of like Ranger Sequoia in New Vegas.
Yeah, basically.
Point is that there ain't no iron period on his hip.
Yeah, not really. He's just yeah.
I'm still looking forward. The thing he does is he pulls that little dinky Derringer out of his boot.
Yeah, that was funny because I'm kind of like, there's no way that thing could do that much damage. But
micro iron.
No kidding.
That whole setup was a good, the bad, and the ugly reference, anyway. So
yeah, it actually was.
Well, every weapon in that show is just like it is in the video games.
Yeah,
comically overpowered. Like when he puts the grenade in the guy's mouth and kicks him down into the pool, and he blows up like he's crammed him full of like a whole round of dynamite. It's like a can grenade does not have that kind of explosive power.
Nope,
it doesn't. Pack in him.
He did the same thing to the Rad Scorpion in the second episode.
Yep.
So, which, again, there was more callbacks on that because, first they were attacked by little bitty orange bark scorpions before the big giant gray Rad Scorpion showed up. So I'm kind of like, it's a New Vegas callback. But I'll tell you what, the whole fourth Fallout 4, which apparently, Bethesda are still screwing around with and messing it up. I haven't tried to play it because I want to wait until they've finalized all their bullshit that they're going to do to it for Anniversary Edition. But to me, and I'm not upset about this, but it seems like the whole story of Fallout 4 was predicated on that one little possibly missable encounter in Fallout 3 where you go on the ship and then you run into the guy who's looking for his escaped synth in the Institute. I think it's funny because I don't think they originally were intending for Fallout 4 to go that direction. It's just a case of everybody got so curious about that. They were like, ooh, what is this, this Institute and this Commonwealth and all this other stuff. And so that's why they went in that direction.
Of course,
but again, I think it's... Well, yeah, and see, again, I think that's another case of, like you said, writers who didn't really want to write within the framework that's already been established so much as they just wanted to go off and do their own thing. So they did.
Well, you also had a situation there where it was one of those, a good thing that they didn't recognize is not always a good thing. In Fallout 4, it seems like they just had an obsession. We're going to have 5 or 6 different factions. We're going to have 4 main factions that you can pick from, that you can deal with in here. We're going to do this because we did it in New Vegas and it was really worked out really well. And people like that. It's like, it worked out in New Vegas because of the story of New Vegas. It doesn't work in Fallout 4. In Fallout 4, you kind of need 2, maybe 3 factions. But you get like go with the Institute faction, go with the Railroad faction, maybe a Brotherhood of Steel faction. Possibly. Yeah. You don't need this 4-faction nonsense. Because really, at the end of the day, if you're really going after your baby and that's the important thing for you, then, the Minutemen really ain't got anything for you. And realistically, the Brotherhood of Steel should just be the bad guys. That
they kind of are.
It doesn't help that they gutted all the role-playing and dialogue options.
Yes.
Well, to make it too easy.
Conversation wheel.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. We got a Shanatsky. We were talking about Fallout, and we have summoned a Shanatsky.
We were just about to start talking about the idiotic invincible NPCs. At least I was.
I have Virus Season 2, so I have no opinion on it other than I just know it'll be fuckery.
Oh, we were actually just talking about Fallout 4. Yeah. The fact is, that I don't think Bethesda was necessarily, they had no idea that the show was going to catch on so big. And now they're kind of caught with their pants down because they wasted, 10 years making Starfield and everybody hated it. And, they teased Elder Scrolls 6 and they're probably nowhere near making it. They might be in pre-production right now, but there sure as hell isn't a Fallout 5 anywhere near ready.
Nope.
Realistically, Elder Scrolls 6 probably won't be ready until 2030.
Till 2030?
That's where I bet my money.
Jeez. These game studios take forever.
Skyrim Game of the Decade Edition and Skyrim Remastered Game of the Year Edition and Skyrim Buy This Game Again Edition.
Well, they just re-released New Vegas. They didn't change anything. They didn't fix anything. They didn't do anything to New Vegas other than put it in a new box with some extra shit in it and then sell it again.
That's still a game to Fallout 4.
Well, is it any wonder why they don't put out new games? If people are just willing to keep buying the old ones over and over again, why should they bother?
Well, I mean, the deal is, it's like I'd love to see a remastered Fallout 3. I'm desperate to see a remastered Fallout 3 because I want to play Fallout 3 again.
Well, like I've kind of shown you from some leaks, that is coming at some point, and I think realistically that might actually come before the next Fallout game.
Oh, definitely, because it's way easier for them to modify it than it is for them to actually bring out a whole new game and write it and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
Wait. You're saying Bethesda has writers?
I didn't say they were good. I just said it has writers.
I'm just going backwards. That's all I'm doing. I started up. Let's see. What did I do this week? I fired up Mu 2 and started conquering the galaxy again.
Mu 2 always good.
Started a new playthrough of Earthbound.
I got news from Pistol Shrimp this week. How far they're going into. I don't know if I can really call it Star Control, but it's whatever is the natural outcome of Star Control when you get all the original guys together to work on it. But it's the one I kickstarted, so. Alliance of Free Stars or whatever they're going to call it. Free Stars, I think. And boy, does it look good. I mean, it has the old classic vibes of the old Star Control too. So that's a win. I just can't wait for them to finish it now. As far as new games go, though, I haven't really played a whole lot of them. I mean, I don't want to spend that kind of money for something that's a piece of crap. I mean, I already got burned on Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2. And
well, you look at the sales figures, and the truth is people are sticking with older games, or they have these subscription services like, Game Pass, where they'll pay $10-15 a month. They won't own anything, but they're going to keep playing this stuff. I'm going back to Steam, and I'm picking up like the Lego Batman trilogy for, I think I paid $8 and got 3 games.
Mm-hmm. I've got like 1,035.3 hours on 7 Days to Die now. Now, granted, I've had it for a long time, so that time is all built up. But it's just, even though the game is honestly, I mean, and I think Grim would agree with me, it is kind of pointless because there's no story yet, there's no ending yet. But it's just like, Project Zomboid, which is also in forever alpha or whatever, It's just fun to play. It's just fun to experience. It's fun to do. I mean, And now they've added some new stuff to it that's kind of made it more interesting. I mean, it's more of a survival game again, and it has some new elements to it. I'll tell you what, man. You know, Grim, what upsets me about 7 Days to Die is they introduce a new mechanic like the apiary, but then you have to have like 5 beeswax to do it. And I mean, it's like, is it just me, or is beeswax really fucking hard to get?
Yeah. The best way to reliably get it is to get the cowboy bee launcher zombies to drop kit bags.
Is it? Okay.
That's the easiest way to get it. If you just go around chopping up tree stumps, then you hardly ever get it. But they reliably, if they drop a bag, it always seems to have beeswax in it.
And JP got rockets. Okay. The Dawn of War, when Soulstorm and Winter Assault, all that stuff got re-released just a few months ago. And I know because I paid the difference to get the re-release. So now they're remastered. They look better. They're more playable, etc., etc. But it's the exact same old game that we used to play the shit out of all the time.
You know, it's a funny thing about that. How it seems like we were on the cusp of a fighting game revival, and then that all sort of fell apart and died. And if anything, we're seeing the RTS is starting to come back now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, let's be honest, okay? They released 3 fighting games within the same year, because you had, almost within the same. You had Street Fighter 6, you had Tekken 8, and then you had City of Wolves, which, by the way, City of Wolves is better than I expected by far. But honestly, it's like, what pisses me off about Street Fighter 6, first off, is it is so predatory in its monetization practices. The fact is that, you know, they keep selling you season passes and DLC if you want to get the new backgrounds, the new music, and the new characters. And the problem is, not every single character that Capcom puts out is worth a shit. And I'm not even talking from a fighting standpoint so much as a... Capcom has always had the weirdest character designs. For some reason, we could overlook it in Street Fighter 2. I mean, okay, we had Blanca, we had Dalsum. They're arguably the 2 weirdest characters in the game. But for some reason, we were okay with it, and it was acceptable. But then, every Street Fighter that's come out after that, they've just had increasingly more and more weird-ass characters, and they expect us to accept that and say, okay.
See, I don't mind weird characters. Guilty Gear is my guilty pleasure. And that has the weirdest characters. I think I bought the last one, but it was so aggressively, this is an online game. We want you to fight against strangers online, and you have to pay to unlock the characters that I hardly ever touched it.
Yeah. No, I have it also. I also have Guilty Gear because I bought the base game super duper cheap. And then I realized, they want you to pay a shitload of money to get all the characters. Yeah. And it's ridiculous. It's predatory. And not all the characters are good. Huh?
It's definitely annoying. And my issue with fighting games is really the same as my issue with a lot of sports games. Is they've really started pandering, not even this, pandering's the wrong word. They've really started gearing their design and their development towards the competitive scene. And it's been that way since probably Street Fighter 3-ish. Street Fighter Alpha 3 is really the last Street Fighter game I really liked. And they've done it with all of them. They've done it with Mortal Kombat. They've done it with Tekken. Tekken was always kind of that way. But,
it's been that way more with since Street Fighter Third Strike, because that's when Evo and everything had, you know, you had the beast moment, you know, that everybody talks about at Evo. What is it, 2016 or 2014, whatever? And the thing is, it's like, ever since they realized that you could start making esports out of it and trying to push the esports model, that's kind of what they keep trying to push everybody towards. I mean,
not anywhere near as much fun to play casually at all. Almost it makes them pointless to play casually in a lot of ways. my brother and I had this discussion about Madden football years and years ago, because this happened way earlier with sports games than it did with fighting games, at least as far as in my experience. And that is, we used to love playing like Madden 97, Madden 98, when it first started coming out on PlayStation, stuff like that. But it got to the point where, 2005, 2006, we're talking like, I don't even want the new NCAA football game. Because if I was this good at calling plays, I would have a job at LSU. Mm-hmm. And it's like if I were this good, I would be hired by the Patriots. I would not be sitting at home playing on my PlayStation. And that's kind of what it's gotten to with some of the nonsense that goes into the intricacies. Well, more realistic, more options stuff. I'm like, yeah, but there needs to be a more simplified way for somebody who doesn't want to spend 1,500 hours getting to where they can just play reasonably well. And it's gotten with the fighting games, and I blame Street Fighter as the beginning of it all, because you started having your counters and your alpha counter and your air alpha counter and your mid-range counter and your high-range counter and your strong counter and your weak counter and your timing counter and your combo breaker and all this other nonsense that came in.
And your punishing reversals and all that stuff, yeah.
And you're making it to where if you do want to be a somewhat competent casual player, you've just guaranteed that I'm playing one character. I will be picking Akuma and nobody else, because if I try to play multiple characters to have a good time, maybe I want to play Dalsim today, or maybe I want to do Ryu or something like that, I can't do it because you have completely changed the way that character plays to a point where I've got to learn alpha counters and double sync counters and jack me off counters and everything for a whole new character.
See, this is why I like Dead or Alive.
The guy who made that's dead. But
unfortunately.
And Dead or Alive, I hated that game. I mean, it was fun at first and everything, but yeah, the computer really got cheap and spammy on that thing. So it's like I felt punished by playing the game.
Jiggling titties.
If you give me Mortal Kombat 2 gameplay, I will accept Mortal Kombat 2 computer opponents cheating like hell.
Yeah, because that's the only way they can win.
Yeah, Dead or Alive has nothing on fucking Mortal Kombat for bullshit.
Yeah, it does. It has a lot of bullshit. But anyway,
Mortal Kombat 2 cheated so bad.
I thought I would. I've already punished Ironcaster and Shinatsky with this, so I figured Grim and Daniel can enjoy the singular taste of what we dealt with on Tuesday. But let's just see what you guys think of this. So yeah, that's Chun-Li.
Yeah, I figured that part out, but I was a little surprised. I never saw Chun-Li with a bust line smaller than a waistline.
Well, she's a real woman, and the male gaze, and I don't know.
She's just upside down. It's supposed to be the hairball things, little buns on her head are supposed to be the biggest, then her tits, and then her waist. And instead, this is her waist is the biggest, then her tits, and then she's got these dinky little knots up here.
Prosthetic thighs.
Yeah, I mean, it's like her. Well, no, she doesn't have prosthetic thighs. I am kind of surprised they didn't emphasize her bust a bit more, but it gets worse. That's Zangief. That's him. That's him.
Working in the tractor factory.
Oh yeah, but that's definitely him. I mean, he is the only character in the entire movie who looks exactly like what he's supposed to.
Oh, yeah, and you can tell he's instantly from the Soviet Union because it's modern era, and he's pulling a dead, busted tractor from 1920.
Mm-hmm.
Got it brand new from the state.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
DJ?
No, that's supposed to be Balrog. That is 50 Cent Curtis Jackson playing Balrog.
Oh, yeah, I can see the goofy hairline now.
I'll allow it because of his long-running vindictive feud with Diddy.
I won't. He doesn't look anywhere dumb enough. I said look dumb enough. Doesn't look anywhere near dumb enough. Doesn't look anywhere near mean enough. And he's missing about 14 inches on his bicep.
Yeah. He's just simply not big enough. He's not a convincing looking boxer. But
no. He could have been DJ and he'd have been fine.
Didn't he
maybe
have
I can see it.
A fighting game that he paid to have developed?
Yeah, he did.
Wow. Terrible.
He He had 2 games. One of them is Blood in the Sand, where he's killing terrorists for a diamond encrusted skull.
Anime wanted us to talk about these, and the first thing he mentioned is he said, yeah, look at his hairline. He says that's not even human looking.
I mean, look at his man boobs. That's not even professional athlete looking.
Oh, good point.
I mean, clearly, if he had games made, he's something of a gamer. So, yeah.
Dalsim is apparently not Indian.
No, that's an Indian actor.
That's an Indian actor.
It is.
That is a very interesting facial structure for an Indian. He must have a lot of the old Brit in him.
I don't know, but he's a definite Indian, like, from India.
We'll see if he crashes an 18-wheeler into a preschool, then we'll know he's Indian.
Oh, you're so racist.
Have you seen Monkey Man yet?
Look, I just talked about him wrecking an 18-wheeler. I didn't say anything about him taking a crap in the sink at the truck stop.
Oh, good point. Anyway, I don't know. I'm not really disappointed with this particular version of Dalsim yet.
He's just kind of okay. As far as the casting goes, he's not the worst.
No, he's not the most egregious.
Compared to everybody so far, except for Zangief, he's at least on par with Zangief for being obvious who he is and reasonably true to the character. I mean, He could miss a couple more meals and be Dalsim, but maybe he's Street Fighter Alpha Dalsim.
Yeah, could be. A little more.
It gets a passing grade.
Ooh, E-Honda.
Yeah, this is actually a Japanese wrestler playing him.
That's the big thing. He'd be okay if he had the thing over his eye.
The face paint.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're going to do I don't know if he just didn't have it on in the scene. I mean, because it looks like he's in a hot tub or something, and you would want to put on makeup in a hot tub, but I don't know if they're going to do the kabuki face paint because they will not display E-Honda's image anywhere near the sumo rings and all that stuff because him using that kabuki face paint is actually considered to be an insult to sumo.
Well, yeah, sumo's got a lot of really intricate traditions, so being outside of anything is kind of persona non grata.
Yeah, and kabuki is, sometimes it was considered to be kind of like a low class art form at one time. Nowadays, I think the opinions have shifted. But
if it's good enough for Troma, it's good enough for that. Fun fact.
That's supposed to be Cammy.
Honda make a car called the E, so you could have E-Honda and a Honda E.
Yeah, there you go. That is supposed to be Cammy.
Why is there a 12-year-old boy playing Cammy?
Exactly. This is also Cammy in her Shadaloo outfit, not her really awesome, sexy, we want to eat your thighs and stuff outfit that we love so much that came from Street Fighter Turbo Super Street Fighter 2. And yeah, I don't like this. I do not.
She doesn't. Her face doesn't look right.
Nope.
There's something wrong off about there. I think the overall thing is that she's too skinny.
Well, that and she's not a Brit. She's the woman playing her is some kind of Thai, huh?
Cammy's Australian.
No, she's not. No, she's a Brit.
She's British.
Sure she was Australian.
I'll be honest. I'm not as hard pressed on getting nationalities right as long as the character looks right. Yeah,
I guess so. I mean, in that case, I guess they got the character looking right, but I'm really not happy with the casting. And Grim,
she doesn't look right because I mean, look, you don't have to be the exaggerated jiggle physics version, and just like the guys don't need to be the Street Fighter Alpha version where their thighs are 4 times huge. The size of my chest. But like I said, it's a 12-year-old boy. This does not look like an athletic, built, capable woman, and is nothing like the character. I mean, what are they going to do next? I mean, we're going to have a Soul Calibur game, and Ivy is going to be dressed like a nun with no tits.
That would be so problematic for them. But okay, Got Rockets. This is not an alternate costume in one of the games. What it is in Street Fighter Alpha, Cammy was still part of Shadowloo, and this was the outfit that she wore, and she's not as fit looking as she should be. No, probably. I mean, the outfit doesn't do her any justice either.
There's the hair.
Yeah.
Hey, look, the hair's right. I don't even want to hear it.
I hate this so much.
But the hair's right. Now that I do hate. That does not look like Ryu.
Well, I mean, Andrew Koji is Japanese. He's half Japanese, half British. So
he looks more like he should be.
His race. I'm just saying it doesn't look like Ryu.
He looks like he should be the Spirit Halloween actor in the, alleyway brawler costume.
Yeah, he looks like a pissed off guy who dressed up as Ryu for Halloween.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, he is a legit martial artist and stuntman, though, so at least they'll get some good action out of him, I think.
Maybe you can save it.
They went with a lot of wrestlers in this.
Well,
no.
WWE is still pretty big, so
this is like Mr. Bane as M. Bison.
I know. That's David Dastmalchian, who is a really good actor, but this is not the part for him.
Well, he doesn't. M. Bison has to be like incredibly psychotic and menacing. He is neither one. He looks like he's scared of whoever he's about to talk to. Like he looks like he's all right. Picture everybody naked. Picture everybody naked. Picture everybody naked.
Yeah, he looks nervous.
For you, this was the worst casting of your life. For him, it was Tuesday.
Yeah,
he did it. He did it.
They forgot to
you. The day Bison graced your village was the most important day of your life. But for me, it was Tuesday.
That's the real Bison there, buddy.
Terrible movie, but that's actually not bad casting for Bison.
No. He was at least menacing enough to be and suave enough to get away with it. And I mean, some of the dialogue they gave him was so goddamn stupid. But this is not Bison.
No.
The thing is, I want to see him actually like deliver some dialogue. I actually want to see some more than just like a single trailer because we get to see people in costumes and we get to see names associated with them to where we're like, oh yeah, this is kind of supposed to be Dan. This is kind of supposed to be Bison. This is kind of supposed to be this character, that character, etc. I want to actually see context.
Is this Dan?
This is Dan.
Okay, this is acceptable.
No, it isn't. This is not acceptable.
Joke character. This is acceptable.
No.
He's supposed to be a pointy little dork who wishes he could be Ryu.
This is Dan. This is what Dan is supposed to look like. He is a half Thai, half Japanese character. And yes, he's a goofy dude because he's a parody of Rio and Robert from
Final Fight, right?
No, not from Final Fight. From
SNK.
Yeah, they're from SNK.
Well, the problem is, if they just shave the guy's mustache, he would look better. I mean, as it is, he looks more like he should be playing Don Flamenco in a Punch-Out movie.
Yeah, but you also used a picture of Street Fighter Alpha Dan, which means he's supposed to be about 60 pounds less. And that's 60 pounds less.
That's not Street Fighter Alpha Dan. That's Street Fighter 4 Dan. But either way, this does not look like Dan in any way, shape, or form.
No, he looks way too old for one thing.
Yeah, he does, and he looks. I mean, look at that extra helping of nose.
I mean, I'm okay with it because Dan's a joke.
This is supposed to be Julie, who nobody remembers because it was from Street Fighter Alpha 3.
Which was a great game, but,
Yeah, the dolls, I remember.
This guy... Okay, this guy, first off, he's not Spanish. He is a country and western singer who wears a mask. I forget his name, and I don't care, but they simply picked him because he wears a mask. It's the dumbest goddamn reason you could pick someone to play this role.
Oh, there could be dumber reasons to pick people.
They can make worse picks. He at least kind of somewhat looks like Vega.
And it's a character with a similar gimmick, so yeah, I get it. Maybe that was just one of those political like things that has to happen where in order to get this movie done or to get this or that actor, he's kind of part of a package deal.
Yeah, well, they couldn't find a Spanish actor who was blonde and blue-eyed and white-skinned.
It could be worse. It could have been Paul W.S. Anderson again with a Capcom property, and selling Mila Djokovic is in the movie, and she's the most important character.
Who cares if he's Spanish or not?
And we are going to sideline Leon S. Kennedy.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. I'm honestly, I mean, I'm sorry, guys. I'm a Mila simp, okay? If Mila's in the movie, she's the only thing I want to see in it. I hate to be that guy, but I mean, it's like, yes, I own every single Resident Evil movie because it's got Mila.
But T-shirt, you have been way more critical about this than that. So I think if we got to be fair here, it's like that should go both ways. It's like, yeah, she's hot, I get it, but if we're talking about Resident Evil, then they should do Resident Evil. And if that's the case, where's your consistency?
Okay, well, it depends on which one. I mean, like they did Welcome to Raccoon City, where she wasn't in it at all, and it was handled by completely different people, and that was absolute utter dog shit in every way, shape, and form.
What about Blood Rain? Wasn't she in that?
No,
no, that was the chick.
Christina Loken, the girl from Terminator 3.
Yeah, the woman from Terminator. Yeah, in the first one. In the second one, it was a completely different woman, which the second one is better, by the way.
That's hard.
No.
The hair is the only thing right.
It's the best part.
No.
Well,
it's Cody Rhodes. I'm fine with it being Cody Rhodes, but I mean, serious, no.
My biggest complaint is the fact that like he doesn't have 2 American flag tattoos.
You know, the only reason he has an American flag tattoo on each arm, right? Is because the sprite
model.
Yeah, when the sprite goes backward and forward, all they do is they just switch sides. They don't necessarily, they're not individual sides. It's the same reason why DJ has Maximum down his leg, because originally it was going to be Mantis. The problem is when he shows up, facing player 2 direction, it would have had it all backwards. And Grimm's over here smiling, going, "Oh my God, you are autistic." Yeah. This is not right, though.
Let's face it. We all know Jury's your favorite, and you want her feet to touch you.
Well, I mean, I thought this was Akuma. It's not. It's Ken.
Yeah, they gave him the Street Fighter 6 hairdo.
Yeah. I'm not sure who that is.
If there's no Akuma, I'm not even interested.
Oh, no, he's in there. You just don't want to see him.
Get the poster.
Yeah, get that poster. Yeah, that's Ken.
I love them doing the Bruce Lee zoom, though, in the shot.
Mm-hmm. That's so not Ken. Yeah, get the pictures ready, Ironcaster. That was Akuma.
Was it?
Yeah. Played by Roman Reigns.
Oh, God.
Yeah, with the full beard.
Uh,
I know. Akuma is a short, muscular, just ball of devastation. So what did they do? They went out and they got a Pacific Islander who is tall, rangy, and looks nothing like Akuma.
Mm-hmm.
And Jason Momoa is Blanca.
It has like zero charisma.
Yeah, I hate Roman Reigns, but yeah, they got Jason Momoa to play Blanca. Don't worry, we'll throw up pictures of those here in a minute. But okay.
Surely Nut Punch is copyright to Mortal Kombat.
Nah, people punch each other in the nuts all the time. Now, do you recognize who that is, Daniel?
No, but I have a feeling I should.
It's Alexander Volkanovsky.
Really?
Yes, the MMA star Alexander Volkanovsky. He is playing Joe from Street Fighter 1.
You sure he's not playing Ric Flair?
No, I'm positive. Because I know.
Ric Flair.
But I was shocked when I found out it was Alexander Volkanovsky.
Yeah, so he looks familiar. Now that you tell me, I can see it, but there's something way off here.
Well, it's one, he's got a wig on because, Volkanovsky's normally bald.
Yeah.
And he also has more facial hair. But, Volkanovsky was a hell of a champion in his time, too. He's a hell of a fighter. Good fighter. That just looks cool. This is some original character that I don't even care about, but is stupid and was put in the movie for stupid purposes, I guess.
Well,
for jokes.
They've worked together before. The guy I checked on it. The director's actually directing episodes of the Eric Andre show. So
you need a comedic relief character for a movie that has Dan in it.
Exactly. That's what I don't understand. It's like we already got Dan in here. I don't know why they have nunchucks. Okay, real quick. I'm gonna zip back for just a sec here. I'm gonna show you something. That guy who's eating Matt, that is El Fuerte from Street Fighter 4. He's the little Mexican wrestler who is also trying to be a cook, and he's horrible at it.
Yeah.
I don't know why he's in this, because if it's supposed to be Street Fighter 2, then they should have moved past Joe, and they shouldn't have El Fuerte. But
also, you gotta realize there's a lot of characters that are probably someone's favorite, and even if they can only get him in for a brief cameo, it's at least getting the character on screen.
I suppose, but I mean, he's one of the doofy characters that
they had a contract to hire like 9 WWE guys, so they had to fill in the slot.
I mean, I guess so. I mean, that must be it.
Brooklyn Brawler is playing him.
I guess.
Fight! You win.
Hey, at least they have somebody beating up a car.
Yeah. Okay. Come on, Caster. Bring on the pictures, man. Let's bring on the pain.
You're in such misery. It brings joy to this cold, dead heart.
Oh, God.
I'm sorry. I'm having too much fun with this.
Who designed the whole graphic behind him with his name?
I don't know.
Well, you realize T-Shirt's just upset they didn't actually get an actor who has psycho power.
Yeah.
I mean, I could think of about 5 or 6 different actors who would be way better than this, but I mean, he's passable because I don't really have a problem with Andrew Koji. I really loved him in Warrior, so
yeah.
I mean, he's perfect.
Yeah, he's probably top shelf for the character.
Yeah, I mean, he just no.
Go back. Okay.
No.
Once you look at that hairline, you cannot stop looking at it.
Yeah, it just looks horrible.
My fight money.
What did he do to his barber?
I don't know. One moment. Got a phone call.
Oh my God.
I beat the shit out of him.
Yeah, Kuma's bad. He does not fit.
And this is like the only time we actually get to see Blanca. Like,
I'm not gonna bitch about Blanca there. It needs to be hairier.
Such a weird character.
I actually would have liked to have seen Jason Momoa playing Akuma instead, because I think he kind of pulled that look off better.
Jesus Christ.
I'm surprised they got him for the film at all. I mean, he seems...
What do you think, Daniel?
What, of Akuma?
Yeah, this particular version.
Yeah, I think he doesn't fit, and
no,
the giant bead necklace that they've got around his neck just makes him. It really makes this poster look terrible. Yeah, I don't see Akuma there. He's Dave too.
I just no.
Blanc I'm okay with. He needs to be hairier, but I don't have any complaints.
Yeah, honestly, I'm okay with this. I mean, he doesn't have a beard normally, but I'm okay with this. I mean, I'm pretty sure they're just going to CGI his whole body the whole time because ain't no way he's got a costume that looks like that all the time, which tells me he's probably not going to be in it that long. He looks good in the poster, but
that looks a lot better than he did in the clip.
Mm-hmm. That's what bothers me is the fact that they look good on the posters, but they look like shit when you actually see them.
Yeah, he looks a lot better there than he did in the thing.
Plus, from this perspective, you're looking up at him, so you're not getting sort of that top-down view. The hair's more in frame with his head. It looks better, and
it's partially obscured by his hand. So,
I mean, look, the hair looks like Guile's hair. I mean, you can hate on it all you want to, but if you're hating on this hairdo, you're hating on Guile and Street Fighter 2 and everywhere else.
I love Guile, but
to quote Chun-Li in Street Fighter 2, the anime movie, hey, brush head.
Well, alternatively, could have had Jean-Claude Van Damme.
I mean, I would have taken him. I mean, he's old, but why not? I mean, Guile's old too at this point. But... Next. Yeah, that's Joe. That's Joe from Street Fighter 1. And if you haven't ever played that game, and very few people have, yeah, you wouldn't recognize Joe, but he's like the first opponent you take on in America.
Yeah, Street Fighter 1 is just like, it's kind of an oddball because you play Ryu and Ken only exists because he's player 2, right?
He kind of looks like Alex Winter.
Who?
Bill and Ted.
Preston Esquire.
Oh yeah. No, that's Alexander Volkanovski, a legit MMA superstar champion.
With hair on his head instead of on his face.
Yeah.
And
next. No.
He looks like he.
I will agree. The mustache needs to go.
And the huge nose.
Look, he looks like you don't like Jewish Dan.
Yeah, that's the problem with it. He just looks like a white dude named Dan. He doesn't have any of the mystique of Dan Hibiki from the game.
Mystique.
Yeah.
Mystique, other than how he's going to screw something else up.
I mean, yeah, he's a goofball character, but you'd be surprised how many people I've kicked his ass with. Anyway. That wrestler is not that fat.
Nope.
He isn't. So I have to think that that belly's a prosthetic, I'm pretty sure. And you notice he doesn't have the face paint either.
Nope, he needs it, but
I don't think they're going to do it. You notice even his Mawashi doesn't look the same as it does in the game either, with all the stripes.
Yeah. That's true. The rising sun that he has on the motif.
Yeah, I think they tried to make this more respectful to sumo. That's why they did it this way. But that's just my opinion.
It's a huge demographic for their movie.
This is not Vega. This is so not Vega.
The clothes are wrong.
Totally wrong. Hey, memes of destruction.
Hey, put him. Why is he not in his Matador outfit? Bare
chested with the snake tattoo and all that. I think he gets that way later on in the film, though, because I've seen behind the scenes photos of him with the snake tattoo. So, but yeah, that's
nope.
Why this outfit? No.
Nope.
I mean, if you were going to introduce Cammy, having her as the Shadowloo agent is probably it would work. So you could have some more female villain characters.
I guess I mean, I mean, she's an M. Bison clone, so.
And she's just as bad as the M. Bison actor.
You know what that means? When someone tells Bison to go fuck himself, it's like, you know what? I've been thinking about doing that.
I mean, I have to admit, if I was Bison, I would take advantage. But that does not look like Ken in any way, shape, or form. This guy looks way too Hispanic or something.
Yeah, he's not Ken, who's supposed to be like an American white dude.
Or he's Ken is like supposed to be, I think, half Japanese, half white. But either way, he doesn't look like that either.
He portrayed as anything other than like a California surfer boy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and this is a character nobody really cares about, really knows about. So it's kind of like, yeah, they couldn't really get her wrong.
Because nobody remembers what right is.
Well, nobody. I mean, how many people out there actually played Street Fighter Alpha 3? The home release was broken. I mean, you had T-Hawk added to the roster, and he was totally imbalanced.
Yep. Basically hated to come up against him because you weren't going to win.
Uh-huh. I mean, yeah, I would use Akuma and just cheap him to death. But
I would use either Akuma or Ryu, because with Akuma, Akuma was cheap to start with. Akuma was so broken that the Game Informer wouldn't even rank him. And then
those air fireballs,
Ryu,
man.
Well, those Ryu, air fireballs.
You could use I believe it's A mode Ryu you can use, and there's a combo in the corner that's infinite. Once you hit it, then as long as you don't screw it up, the game's over.
Well, now that you have it all on like single press on the home PC version, it shouldn't be too hard. But next,
defeats the purpose.
Well, I mean, this is not a character I really care about, so
I don't have a problem with Dhalsim. He's a little light for Dhalsim, but that's acceptably light.
Yeah, I mean, and it
depends on which Dhalsim we're talking about, because he's like virtually coal black in some games, and then he's like just like this, like just kind of got a suntan in others.
Mm-hmm. I would have thought he would have looked older, though. What?
I wish it was a bit more white with the face paint to stand out, because it's sort of the way the lighting here has it blending with the color of his head.
Mm-hmm. And I noticed he doesn't have the skull necklace. He's just
yeah.
But maybe there's a reason why they didn't want to do the skulls, because you ever know. Because they're supposed to be the skulls of children who died and stuff, but
and it's meant to be a nod to Kali. So.
Yeah.
I do love it when people say that, though, the skulls of children who died, as opposed to like the skulls of living children. Now that would be a necklace to remember right there.
You. Next.
Your skull is mine.
I mean, they put leggings on her.
I'm disappointed with the casting. She just doesn't look like Chun-Li.
No.
She doesn't have the right build for it.
Mm-mm.
No, she's not built right for her.
Yeah.
I could see her as Jury maybe, but not as Chun-Li.
Yeah, she'd be okay for Jury, but of course people would say, well, she's not Jury's Korean. This woman's Chinese. I'm serious. Because people will nitpick that shit.
Don't piss off, Vegas.
Yeah, they will. T-shirt. I can't imagine what that's like.
Yeah.
I'm pretty
Is there
sure
a mirror nearby? I'm
just
just
saying.
saying.
Dolphin who can't even stretch his arms out 15 feet.
Yeah, this is just stupid. Also, the way that they lit him, it makes it look like somebody puked all over the side of his jacket.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like someone shoved a light socket up his butt.
Don Savage.
Is that how you
Savage.
say that?
Again, it's because Eric Andre gets a lot of work, so putting him out there as a big piece of it for the promotional is a good Hollywood thing to do, because it's good PR. They think, hey, that's going to get people's attention.
It will, sadly. That's how these things work.
That's all the posters, but
and they could have just put random dude back there instead of Don whatever.
Yeah. Well, I think this thing's going to be a dog, and what Shinatsky, I think, pointed out that it was coming out in what, January?
Happy birthday!
No, I didn't.
Movie.
I don't think it's coming out in January. I don't remember when it's coming. I think it's like spring for Street Fighter.
Mm.
No, I'm trying to remember what movie we were talking about was coming out in January.
This IMDb has this slated for October 16th.
Oh wow! So they have quite a bit of time to do reshoots and post and all this other stuff. So, but I still don't think it's going to be any better by the time we get there. I just don't have any confidence in it.
So let me ask you guys, which do you think is going to be either the better movie financially or just overall? Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat 2? Because we're getting both those next year.
I'm pretty sure Mortal Kombat's going to do better, but
Mortal Kombat's more movie friendly than Street Fighter anyway.
Yeah.
I think Street Fighter, just by virtue, I'm sorry, it just feels like Butcher again for Johnny Cage. I like what was his name again?
Carl Urban.
Yeah, I like Carl Urban, but he's playing Carl Urban. That's not Johnny Cage he's playing.
Yeah, but I mean, let's agree on one thing though. Carl Urban can outact every single person they had on that Street Fighter roster.
You don't want them to punch each other.
Well, he can do that too, but
I mean,
the only problem I have with Carl is he's old.
It's gonna be weird that Johnny Cage is now gonna be like the main character for Mortal Kombat when it was him and Sonya were written out because they didn't want to deal with the people.
Well, in any case,
on the sole basis that Mortal Kombat has previously had one good film and Street Fighter has never had a good film, I'm going to say Mortal Kombat.
So, yeah, and that's kind of my thinking too. They had 2 Street Fighter movies and they were both dogged.
The anime was cool though.
Yeah, the anime was great.
The animated movie. Remember that one? It was an actual theatrical film.
That doesn't count though.
Let's not also forget the fact that Mortal Kombat has dudes getting sawed in half. I think people are going to want to go to see the hyper-violence of that.
Yes.
And while it'll probably be the same audience going to see both, if this is coming out in October and Street Fighter might probably be a summer film, I'd kind of give the nod to that more. Let's see.
What is going to pull people in to see Street Fighters? They're going to go, oh, Roman Reigns, oh, Cody Rhodes. Oh, it's going to be all the WWE fans who want to go in there and see that.
It's kind of funny given how flailing professional wrestling numbers have been over the past decade.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of think that, this is going to sound funny, but I think John Cena would have made a better guile, to be honest. But
he would have.
So,
and then they could have had that trumpet fanfare in there just as a throw out. I'd have bought on it.
I'm pretty sure John Cena is just too busy sucking James Gunn's dick to do anything else.
And with that, shall we bring it to a close? We're already at over 2 hours, and I think we've done well.
I had to get some exercise in because I got 5 hours to do on Wednesday.
Oh, I'm sorry, bro. And sorry about your car troubles here lately.
Dude, 3 accidents in 2 months.
That's just, your insurance company is going Jesus Christ, can we let this guy go?
Well, they keep looking at it. They're like, well, we're not having to pay for it. It's the other guy's insurance who has to. Then half the time, they're just fighting to recover my deductible.
I got rear-ended last year. You remember? And that was in March.
Yeah.
And when that happened, apparently, for some reason, it was considered to be my fault, even though I was dead stopped at the time and got hit from behind by 2 other vehicles. I don't know how that figures, but my insurance went up because of it. So we switched insurance companies because fuck those guys.
Well, this broad's trying to tell her. And now, of course, she didn't provide a police report like I did for obvious reasons. Because she tried to claim that I failed to yield on and rear-ended her. I was turning right and then changed my mind to go straight, and then somehow I guess I was going right and then I swerved back around and came in and hit her from behind. I guess that's her story.
That doesn't even
go straight, and I hit her in the side.
Yeah, that didn't even work
on the side.
right,
All right, guys.
I got hit.
Mm-hmm. All right, guys. Well,
I got hit. Well, the tail end of my vehicle was in the freaking bike lane.
jeez,
Yep. People are dicks.
they are.
Yep.
But anyway, I'll be running Ashes Without Number tomorrow, so you guys tune in and we'll have some fun with that. But until then, y'all have a great weekend, Geek. See y'all.
On behalf of the staff of the Independent California Motel, I wish you all sweet dreams.